Yes guys, welcome from me, Championship Manager 0102, player profile time, and I have opted for someone not quite so familiar to a lot of people in terms of real life, but you can see the name right in front of you, Matthew Upson. Now I've gone with him for a reason because I've seen a lot more positives from CM than negatives. So with that in mind, I'm going to start with Matthew Upson. In real life, I didn't know too much about him. The only thing I really knew is where he started his youth career and a few bits and pieces. So Matthew Upson, 44 years of age, he's the same age as me, and he weren't born that far away from me. He was born in a little town, actually I think it's deemed a cathedral, but it's got a cathedral so it's deemed a city, but in a place called centre half, started his career at Ipswich Town as a youth, but then moved in terms of, I think, geographics there, because he moved to Luton Town in terms of the youth career from 1994 to 96, and Ipswich initially took him on, and Luton sort of gave him that youth contract, so to speak. Made his debut in the 96-97 season, only had one appearance in that whole year. Now the funny thing is, right, is 96-97, for me personally, that was a big year in football because 96-97, I think they released an update on Sensible World of Soccer. Alan Shearer had moved to Newcastle United, and it was a lot of the big, was it Ravanelli? Ravanelli came over. There was a lot of big players, and it was a big milestone for me personally. Now, something I never understood, right, from 96 to 97, obviously, he was a prospect. There's no doubt about that. What is he? He's 16, 17 years of age. He was a prospect. He had one game for Luton Town in the 96-97 season. And then in 1997, he got a move to Arsenal. How the fuck does that work? So, 1997, he got a move to Arsenal where he was there till 2003. Of course, he starts at CM as Arsenal. But during that period, it wasn't really the sort of career he wanted that he could have had, I guess. Arsenal, they're at their peak, really. That was when Wenger started to really get himself sorted out. He had various loan spells. In 2000, he was at Forest. That didn't work out too well. 2001, he was at Crystal Palace. A little bit better, but still shit. 2002, he went to Reading. A little bit better, but still shit. Overall, for Arsenal, he made 35 appearances. But of course, CM doesn't always recognise the credentials of a player. Sometimes they can get it wrong. Well, they do get it wrong on certain players. That they develop brilliant in the game and not in real life, vice versa. 2003, he officially left Arsenal, where he went to Birmingham City. And to be fair to him, he was at Birmingham for 4 years, no loan spells, 113 appearances, and he scored 5 goals. 2007. For me, this is a step back up in the right direction. He moved to West Ham United, where he spent 4 years and another 131 games, another 4 goals. For me, at that point, it was downward spiral. 2011, he moved to Stoke City, where he amassed 15 games. He did have a loan spell at Brighton in 2013 for another 18 appearances. And then at the start of the 2013-2014, he moved to Brighton permanently, for a year, where he did another 43 appearances. So it's nice when loan spells actually are successful, and I would say that's a pretty good loan success rate, that is. Stoke City didn't work out, got a loan to Brighton, had a good hatful of games, got a permanent move to Brighton. 2014 to 15, he moved to Leicester City, and 2015 to 16, he moved to Milton Keynes Dons. In terms of his England credentials, well, England under 18, England under 21, and 2003 to 2010, 21 caps for the England senior setter. And I think you've got to give him credit where it's due, because not many players can showcase that. Now, the one thing I weren't able to find out anything about, I don't look too intense about what they're doing and where they've been, is I don't know what he's doing now. I really don't, because I don't know if he's a coach or anywhere. So, as I always say, if you've got anything to add on this, anything that I've missed, got wrong, I'm not perfect, share it with me. So, yeah, I don't know what he's doing now, unless he's just fucking signing on for the last 14 years. Who knows? So, let's talk about him then as CM, because at the age of 32, you can gather, I've loaded up my player profile save, 10 years in, we can get a good insight into how, and he still looks fucking good. Now, let's go straight to 01-02 when he first kicked off. So season 1, 19 games, 7-0, not too bad. Arsenal, you know, you can see how prolific he is. Gets a move to PSV. That might have been me that bought him at that point. I don't know. Seems a bit of a weird move for AI. Very, very prolific. Manchester United, look at that for a season at 08-09, 7-8-2 before moving to Dortmund. And it's very, very prolific. And I think, given credit where it's due, he is always prolific, and he looks the bollocks. He really does look the bollocks. I feel maybe he's more a centre-half than a left-back. I think that is a definite. Injury prone 14 on this particular save, so whenever you start a save, it'll be close there and thereabouts. Let's have a look at his injuries for the last 10 years. Nothing really too serious other than that torn hamstring in 06, which ruled him out for 3 months. Another torn grimace in 2 months. So, you know, it could be a lot worse. Could be better, but it could be a lot worse than that. So that's his injury history. Now, aggression 12. Let's have a look at his bans over 10 years. Red, red, yellow, red. Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it? That misconduct, that is normally, I can't go back to this, I can't, no way of knowing this, but that will normally be something like, he was caught on camera making a gesture to fans. That's what that normally is. So yeah, not too bad, but definitely a player that don't really get a lot of first team action in season 1, but clearly, you know, if you can pick him up, then he's definitely worth it. He's a great. Why am I going to this? Well, he's a great player. He really is a great player, and I definitely think, you know, he would be good really if you are starting as a low Premiership team or even a First Division team. He's definitely someone worthwhile of getting if you can, and you should be able to be honest with you, because, you know, I mean, let me just go back to him. I don't quite know how I got off him. Let me just go back to him, because I'm just thinking, back in season 1, he did alright. He got some good game time for Arsenal. I mean, 19 appearances is pretty fucking good, in fairness. So, that is Matthew Upson, and as I said, if you've got anything you want to add, share it with me. Till it's time for me, guys, take it easy.